from NPL to W League it's not a huge step, but I thought it was a big step for me. My mental aspect of the game, and how they focus on the game, and I learned a lot about myself and if I'm really ready for it. And it made me realize how important it is to have a good mindset.
All right, so welcome to another episode here on Sandy Bay Media. Make sure to give us a like and a follow. It helps the page out. Today's guest is Mackenzie Hawkesby. Yeah. She spent this year at Sydney FC in the W League, and she's currently at Olympic in the NPLW in New South Wales. So and I'm joined by Hannah, who's going to be helping me out today, once again, as usual. Just to start off, Mackenzie, can you just give us a little bit of background on yourself?
So basically, I'm from Wollongong, which is an hour south of Sydney. I'm a family of 5, so I have 3 sisters. I'm Maltese, and I basically started playing soccer when I was around 6 or 7.
Fine. And how did you get involved in football, and why did you get involved?
Well, my mum just chucked my sister in, and then I just sort of followed her. We all started playing soccer at our local club. So yeah, it was basically just pick soccer. That's basically it.
Over to you, Hannah.
When did you sort of decide that you wanted to go serious with football?
I would say it would be when I started playing rep soccer. So I played club until I was around 10, 11. And then when I hit 12, I went to the Illawarra Stingrays, which is an NPL club in New South Wales. And when I hit then, I it was introduced to the professionalism and all that. And that's when I really thought that I really wanted to go far in soccer. Was something that I've always wanted, but as soon as I hit the rep club football, I was really pushed from there.
And your teenage years were at Illawarra Stingrays?
So yeah, I played for Illawarra Stingrays for 2 years, but then I transitioned into the institute. So I played there from 15s to when I was 15 to 17. So I played there for 3 years, and yeah, so I was at Illawarra and then transferred there, and then went to club.
Right.
And
we know you were at Sydney FC earlier this year. How was that experience like for you?
Yeah, it was one of the best experiences I've ever had. I've always wanted to play for Sydney. It's been my favourite club since I was younger. But yeah, it was an absolute dream come true for me. Surrounded by some great players, great people, good coaching staff. It was phenomenal. It was really, really good. I enjoyed my experience and I really growed from it. I'm a different player because of that season. So yeah, I'm so thankful for it.
And you were at Western Sydney the season before that. How was that as well? That was your first season, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was my first season. I just it was good. I learned a lot. It was a tough season for us. When I played there, we came, I think, bottom of the ladder. But it was an introduction for me into professional football. I trained really hard. I worked really hard. I didn't get on the pitch, but it made me realise how much I do want to play, and it gave me so much experience in what it is like to play at that level. So yeah, it was a good learning curve for me, and it was a great experience to play for the Wanderers and get that under my belt.
And what was one thing that you got out of that, or one thing that you can recall learning?
Probably resilience. A lot of things, but I learned a lot of the older girls. There was a lot of quality players there, and I learned a lot of them on how to transition into being a professional, because it was going from NPL to W League it's not a huge step, but I thought it was a big step for me. My mental aspect of the game, and how they focus on the game, and I learned a lot about myself and if I'm really ready for it. And it made me realize how important it is to have a good mindset, and it made me realize how important it is to be a good person as well. So yeah, the Wanderers it was a good learning curve, and it made me realize that I'm really wanted it after that.
Awesome. And that same year with Wanderers, you went to Canberra with the Young Matildas. That was that year, wasn't it? Yeah. How would you rate that experience? Because that was your first call-up, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was my first call-up, and it was I think it was a 14-day camp. So it was a pretty big a big thing, because I was just we played games as well. So it was against I remember you were there. It was against the US and Canada. So it was a really big step for me. I was wow, but yeah, it was really, really good. It was intense, but yeah, I loved every aspect of it.
What do you think you learned the most being at a Young Matildas camp?
Oh, it was, for me, at the national level, it's just a complete another level with the way we play, the way you train and all that, what you eat. It's basically a professional environment that I was never been a part of before. And it was just incredible to play with players players like now, like Ellie Carpenter, and players that are in the senior national team. So it was good to get experience of players like that and be in that environment.
Speaking of experience, what was your fondest memory?
Oh, I think probably debuting for me. That was huge for me because I was always, really like not sure how I was going to go. But yeah, I think the training was very, very good. I thought that my fondest memory was probably getting better as a player at that training camp. But I think the debuting for me against the US was huge for me.
So probably within your 2 years of W League, what's probably the biggest thing that you've learned probably off a idolising player that you've played with?
Probably to be patient, stay patient. As a young player, I've always been wanting to get to the next level, do this, do that. But I think patience and having a good mindset is the thing that I've learned. I've always been sort of that type of player that's always like, I'm a bit hard on myself. But yeah, I've learned to be patient and just wait for your time and keep working hard and don't think like try and just focus on yourself. And then you just keep working hard and you stay patient and things will come.
Yeah, great advice there, and I think it's a great mindset to have that, just taking your time.
Yeah, definitely.
Instead of rushing it. So the next part we're going to move on to is the NPL. And this year, I'm going to let Hannah take that.
All of it?
You got this, Hannah.
All right. Well, because you transitioned into Olympic mid last year, didn't you?
Yes.
Can you explain what that process was and why you chose to do it?
So basically, at the start of 2019, I was playing for Sydney Uni, and I transitioned personally just on a lot of it was game time. I wasn't getting a lot of game time at Sydney Uni, so I basically transitioned because of that. I wasn't playing a lot, and when I got in contact with a lot of clubs, I think Sydney Olympic was the perfect fit for me. I knew a few girls from there, so it was a pretty easy transition. I sort of went in straight away, and then it was probably the best decision I've ever made in my career, moving to Sydney Olympic. It immensely opened doors for me, not only just for W League, but just for NPL. I got a lot of game time. So, yeah, that was the main reason.
Yep. And how do you think you've been going this season personally and as a team?
Look, this season's been a little tricky because we had a big break because of COVID, and I feel like everyone was just sort of finding their feet again. But, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how we're doing as a team. We're undefeated at the moment. We had a draw with Unis when they're a very, very, very good team. So, yeah, I think we're doing pretty well, and I'm pretty happy with how we're going. We've got Manly this weekend, which will be a tough game. But, yeah, we're doing pretty well, I think.
Yeah, and how do you think you're going individually?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I think there's a lot of things I can do to be better. I think I can score a few more goals. I think there's a lot of things that I can improve on, but I'm pretty happy with how we're going. We're winning as a team, so that's all that matters.
Exactly.
And your game on the weekend, you probably would have come into it being a little bit like definitely should be a win. What was your guys' mentality going into last Sunday?
Well, our coach and our team is we've driven the mentality that like every single team is good in the NPL. There's no weak teams, in our opinion. You go into every single game thinking that it's going to be the hardest game you've ever played. So yeah, we were definitely not thinking we were going to win, even though that other teams have. Like last week, RP beat them by a big scoreline. We definitely weren't. We weren't like that. So we were just like focusing on we got to get the win, play for the 3 points. So yeah, our mentality was every game is the same. We don't really focus on the team. We just focus on ourselves and what we can do to get the 3 points.
That's good. And did you have a certain game plan for that Sunday?
Well, we knew that that because it was a wet day, anything can really happen on a wet day. But we knew that it may have taken us a while to get a goal, so we had to be patient. We knew that they defend in a block, so we knew that we had to just move the ball around, and eventually, hopefully, if we create opportunities, it would come. So yeah, we sort of have a game plan on every single game as it comes to us. But yeah, we very much focus on ourselves and how we can score goals. So yeah.
And what did you set for yourself that game, and how do you think you executed it?
With games like that, I know it's always going to be tricky. Sometimes I feel like when you play teams that sit in a block, it's hard to actually get through. But for me, I'm playing midfield and wing this year, so I'm playing 2 positions. So I was playing wing on the weekend. So for me, it was more about building my confidence, I feel, because I don't play wing that as much as I normally do. I'm always been brought up being a midfielder. So yeah, it was more about me, taking the ball, driving the ball, scoring goals, assisting goals, trying to do that. I just want to build my confidence up and really take on players. That's what I think I lack in my game. I don't take on players enough when I'm in the front third. So, yeah, I feel like that is what I'm trying to work on, is just continuing to be better and also shooting and getting my shots on target, which I did one on the weekend, but I missed 2. So there's a bit to improve on.
Of building on and improving. So I want to look at, what do you want to go in your career, and what do you want to what's the outlook for the future for yourself?
Overall, I really want to play, obviously want to play for the Matildas. I want to play for my country, but I also want to play overseas. Playing in the W League is really, really good, but I also want to experience other leagues as well.
Yeah.
I want to obviously get better as a player, and eventually Europe, the US, anywhere like that would be my main goal, to get more experience. And then eventually I want to hopefully try and break into the Matildas when I'm older and get that experience. Yeah.
Fantastic. Anywhere particularly in Europe, or just anywhere? My
favourite team is Chelsea. I love Chelsea. I love the English Premier League. So
that's a good team.
Yeah.
Very good team.
Chelsea probably. And I'll look anywhere. I'd take anywhere. But yeah, I would love to play in the England league. I think that league's really emerging like now. So it'd be really good to play in that league. But yeah, anywhere. I love Spain. So like Barcelona, any teams like that would be really cool to play for.
Definitely would be. Hannah, anything else?
In regarding to NPL, obviously, what's your team's goal for the season? I presume it would be to win both premierships.
Well, we know it's a short season, so we knew that it's 10 games plus finals, I think. So we really want to try and win every game, be undefeated. We knew that our goal is top, like to win it, and we also want to win the grand final, because last year we came third. We didn't get to the grand final. That's our aim, is to win the comp and obviously get to the grand final. That's our main aim.
Hopefully you'll get there, and all the best this season. And
Thank you.
Good luck with the rest of the year and your career. I'm looking
so
forward to following you through and catching up and how you're progressing it.
Thank you so much.
That's right. Thanks, Hannah. Sorry, thanks, Mackenzie.
No worries.
You're welcome.
That's right.